state. This is recorded in Muslim and Bukhari Hadith Mutafaqun alayh. Astounding. Some Jews came to the Prophet and said, "This man and woman have committed adultery. What do you suggest we do to them?" Allah revealed in the Quran, كيف يحكمونك وعندهم التوراة فيه حكم الله. Why are they asking you, Muhammad, to make a judgment on them when they have the Torah and in it is the judgment of God? Now, Muslims will say, this is a great thing. They come to the Prophet for judgment. We're supposed to do that. Allah tells us to go to the Prophet for judgment, right? But why does Allah scold them? If you see what happened, you get my point, and then I'll make the bigger point. By the way, don't think I'm against Jews, because I'm not. Are we big enough to have discussions, even if we may disagree? Can we have a discussion? Because afterwards, we have a question and answer period. It'll be your turn. And we'll sit down and listen to you for 20 minutes. Ha ha ha. Okay, now. So what did the Prophet say when they came to him? He said something extraordinary. مَا تَجِدُونَ فِي كِتَابِكُمْ. What do you find in your book? If you study the Quran, you will see that the Quran praises the Torah. فِيهَا هُدًى وَنُورٌ. فِيهَا هُدًى وَنُورٌ. In it, the Torah is guidance and light. Allah compliments and praises the Injil. فِيهِ هُدًى وَنُورٌ. And in the Injil, the gospel of Jesus is guidance and light. So Allah is asking Muhammad, why are they making you a judge? And they got the judgment. So the Prophet said, what do your books say? And the spokesman said, well, our book said that we should take them and parade them in front of the people and make mockery of them. Abdullah ibn Salam, who was a Jewish scholar who converted to Islam, he says, no. فَأْتُوا بِالتَّوْرَاةٍ فَأْلُوهَا إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Bring me the Torah. Read it if you're telling the truth. So they began to read from the Torah, and when the verse of stoning appeared, they covered the verse of stoning. And Abdullah ibn Salam said, move your hand, and behold, was the verse of stoning in the Torah for those who commit adultery. This is the question. The question is, why, if you have the book, do you not follow the book that you say is eternal for all time? That's the question. So at least they should say, you know what? It's in the book. Let's go to the New Testament. Interesting. Some people came to Jesus, peace and blessing be upon him, according to the New Testament, and said this, they were stoning a woman. And they said this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. According to the law of Moses, she should be stoned. What do you say? They try to trap Jesus now because they're in the Roman Empire, right? And so the Jewish law, they have their law. And the Romans have their law. So they tried to trap Jesus. And he did something really remarkable according to the book. He said, which one of you was without sin? Cast the first stone. He didn't condemn the law. He didn't say the Torah was wrong. He didn't say the Torah had to be updated. He was without sin. Let him cast the first stone. And every one of them, they dropped their stones and went away. And Jesus told the woman to go now and sin no more. This is the question. All I'm raising the issue is, when you have a discussion with Muslims and values, the question is, what are you going to use as a standard to measure values? When people look at the Quran, they say, oh, polygamy, oh, polygamy. What? Polygamy? Even Muslim sisters, what? Let me tell you something. What I'm going to say now is going to blow your mind. Maybe I shouldn't use the word blow your mind. I should think of another word. But you will be tempted to throw stones at me, what I'm going to say. But listen to why I said it. I'm going to say something that's going to appear to be controversial. Maybe the women will stand up and applaud, perhaps. Now, are you ready? Are you ready? Put your seatbelts on. No, I'm serious. You got to put them on, because what I'm about to say is going to be really explosive. Here you go again with that word. Right? There is not one verse in the Quran that gave a man permission to marry more than one woman. What happened to Imam Siraj? He became honest. I'll say it again. There is not one verse in the Quran that gave a man permission. I see. I understand. I know. I told you you're going to want to throw stones at me. But you got to wait to the end of the movie to get the plot. Not one verse in the Quran. Give me the verse. If I'm wrong, you tell me the verse. If you cannot marry, if you cannot be just between orphans and married women of your choice, 2, 3, 4 at a time. Everybody post this verse. Now check this out. If that verse were giving permission for man to marry more than one wife, let me tell you what would have happened. The man, Sheikh, you married? You married? You're not married. You want to get married? You don't want to get married? You do want to get married. Would you like to get married tonight? Yes? He is so embarrassed. He's like, what? See, the rule, the trick is never to be in front of Imam Siraj speaking. No, I'm serious, because I'm gonna deal with you one way or the other. If that verse meant that those men who had one wife went out and got their second wife, that didn't happen historically. But what did happen? Those men who had 5 wives, when the ayat was revealed, divorced one of their wives. Those men who had 10 wives, when that ayat was revealed, divorced 6 of their wives. What does that mean? It means that the Quran didn't introduce polygamy. Polygamy was already there. That's why I said the Quran didn't give permission, it regulated what was already understood. Ask the Jews, one of their greatest prophets, Yaqub, Jacob, had 4 wives. Moses had 2 wives. Solomon, David had how many wives? Abraham had 2 wives. All of that is there. But the strange thing about it, you condemn Muslims for doing something that the prophets did, and yet homosexuality is accepted. Why is that? Now, what I'm about to tell you, you're going to have to look it up. You're going to have to look it up because you're not going to believe me. In Germany, right now, they are determining, they are arguing whether incest should be permitted. Incest, you know what incest is? Sheikh, tell me what incest is.
Relations between brothers and sisters.
Huh?
Family members.
Excuse me? Hurimat alaykum ummahatukum wa banatukum. Allah tells you Quran what's prohibited. You mean to tell me you have to argue whether a man and a sister can be together? Yes. Bestiality, you know what that is? Bestiality? Huh? Yeah, that word. I'm too embarrassed to ask you what it means. You know what it means, right? For those who don't know what it means, see me later. People are doing it in ways that you cannot imagine. And you know what? It will continue. Because the Prophet Muhammad said that Allah said, Ya ibadi, kullukum dolun illa man hadaytu fastahduni ahdikum. O my servants, every one of you are misguided unless I guide you. Therefore ask me and I will guide you. This is why every day, 17 times a day, at least Muslims say, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, guide me on the straight path. Why? Because brothers and sisters, if Allah won't guide you, you're going to be misguided and you're going to be like everybody else. In my conclusion, let me tell you what the problem is. Tell you what the problem is. You need two things to be successful. A good product and a good salesman. Sometimes you have the best product, but bad salesman. And you can have a bad product and good salesman and sell more than a person with a good product, but bad salesman. Give you an idea. Would you agree that Islam is a good product? You say it's the best, right? Well, yet so many people reject it. It might have something to do with the salesman. Let me give you another product that everybody agrees is a bad product, but you should agree. Cigarettes. Do you know the most discarded item in the world? Cigarette butts. 4.5 trillion cigarette butts discarded every year around the earth. Many of them wind up in our waterways, killing animals and birds, fish. How many people died in 9/11? Almost 3,000. Almost everybody in the world knows about it, and we will not let people forget it. 3,000 people died tragically. We are against it. But did you know that every year, 440,000 Americans die as a result of smoking cigarettes? You see, Siraj, it's their fault. They smoke cigarettes, it's their fault. Okay, I give that argument to you. What about 53,000 Americans die every year from secondhand smoke? Never smoked cigarettes in their lives, but somebody around them smoked cigarettes and now they die. World Health Organization, WHO, of the United Nations said by the end of the 21st century, 1 billion people of the world would have died as a result of smoking cigarettes. Good product or bad product? Why they sell so much? Billions of dollars spent on advertising, getting people to buy this product. Hell, but the governments, they protect the citizens because you can't smoke cigarettes until you're 18 years old. Good argument. The fact of the matter is 90% of all smokers started before the age of 18. Bad product, alcohol? Yet, how many people die of alcohol-related deaths? Allah made it prohibited. Somebody makes it halal, permissible. Prostitution. I don't know about Ireland. In parts of America right now, prostitution is legal. Imagine. Adultery is rampant. All of the values that we love dearly is under assault. And you want to hear the truth of the matter? You Muslims are the last line of defense. If you give in like everybody else, it's over. It's over. I leave you with this warning that the Prophet gave, peace and blessings be upon him, and I'm sitting down. Ayat from Quran. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله ولو آمن أهل الكتاب لكان خير لهم منهم المؤمنين وأكثرهم الكافرين. You're the best of people evolved from mankind. Why? Why are you so good? I'm a Muslim. Okay. What makes you so good? I'm a Muslim. Allah praised the Muslims, because of what they do, enjoying the good and forbid the evil. That's what makes you special. And then why say, if the people of the book had believed, it would have been better for them? Why put that in there? to teach us the lesson. Listen carefully. You be careful, because you can wind up doing the same thing. And lo and behold, he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you Muslims will follow those who came before you. Shibran bi shibran, wa dhira'in bi dhira'in, step by step and inch by inch, so that if they crawl in the hole of the lizard, you follow right behind them. Kuna ya Rasulullah and Nasara wa Yahud. Do you mean we will follow the Christians and the Jews? That's what you mean, Faman. Who else? Understand the picture. God gives you a commandment. What are you going to do with it? Shaitan, the devil, you got to remember this. Every commandment that Allah gives you, He will have you doing the opposite. He began right there in the garden with our mother and father, and He continues, and He continues. And His job, make the halal haram and the haram halal. That's what's happening. Why should you be under assault? You're covering yourself. Women are naked, they're now naked. In the newspapers, I don't know about Dublin, but in the newspapers in New York City, the newspapers become pornography. You open up a newspaper and there's naked women. What? Everywhere you look, on TV, on the radio, in the internet, everywhere. What are you going to do? Will you be like everyone else? Will you just succumb and be like everyone else? Or are you going to stick to the values that God gave to us? I'm saying to you, you're not just protecting yourselves, you're protecting the rest of the world. We share this earth together, 196,940,000 square miles. We share it with the Christians and the Jews and Hindus and the Buddhists and the disbelievers. We share the same earth. We're like in a boat. And if there are bad people in the boat, putting a hole in the boat, if you don't stop them, you destroy them and you destroy yourself. But if you stop them, you save them and you save yourself. That's the job of the Muslims. Keep to our values. Our values are not Islamic values in the sense that their values are not. It's the same good values. And this is why in church we used to sing, give me that old-time religion. And that old-time religion is the religion of Abraham. That's what we say we follow. And that's what the Quran says. The religion of Jesus, the religion of Moses, the religion of Muhammad. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. And remember this struggle to preserve those values. Teach it. And don't give up. Assalamu alaikum. Now is your time. You don't have to agree with anything I said tonight. Maybe you understood it, maybe you didn't. Anyone has a question or even a challenge of anything that I say, if you want to clarify something that I say, or if you just have a question, raise your hand. Now is your time. Now don't be like this. You be quiet. And when you get out, I'm going, hey man, Siraj, you said, I don't like what he said. Here's your chance to do it. You can do it in my face. I don't have no security here. Or do I? You're my security. You got my back. From way back there. Yes. Yes.
Sheikh, at the beginning, talking about the narrative that has been presented to us, and it's perpetrated so much in the media about Muslims and exactly how we are. How do you seize the narrative?
This is my point. That if you perceive what's happening, Muslims are always on the defensive. Watch any Muslim goes on any television program, right? CNN, Fox, always on the defensive. Well, we don't do that. Right? We're not with the ISIS. We're not with this. Right? So what happens is that you'll never win that kind of battle simply being on the defensive. What we have to do is start taking, like I'm a sportsman, right? Let me tell you something about sports. Whatever sport it is, soccer, basketball, football, baseball, whatever it is, it's easy if you never go on the offense, you just play defense. You see, you can never win just playing defense, right? Let me tell you something about it. You give me a basketball. I understand we got a basketball here, right? You give me a basketball. I ain't played basketball really in years, right? But you give me a basketball, I guarantee you, we go outside and you see me shooting, I'll hit basket after basket after basket. I can do that, alhamdulillah. I can really do that. No, I can't. No, I'm sorry, I really can't. Right? You're going to hold me to it. I see, I knew you were saying that. Right? You're trying to give me that. Anyway, but now, put a defender on me. You see? If you look at any football player, any quarterback, he can throw and he can hit his man. But put defense on him, it's different. We have to start going on the offensive. When I say go on the offensive, be proactive, like the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him. Go out there to the masses of the people. If people spend money advertising on bad products, why can't we spend money advertising on good products? We have to change the narrative. And part of that is the skill, how to go on these programs and turn them around. Who was good at it? Malcolm X. If you study Malcolm X, you may not like the theology of Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, but when he's on these television programs, he puts them on the defensive. We need people like that, trained people who know about media and how it works, to get on these television programs and turn the narrative around, put them on the defensive. So it's training. It's going to take a lot of training. It's going to take money, it's going to take focus. One of the complaints that I have about the Muslim Ummah, not enough money, resources on da'wah, on public relations, if you would. So we have to now, we spend a lot of money building masjids. We should. I was in Fort McMurray this year, and we had a fundraiser at Juma Prayer. And I want you to understand this with Juma Prayer. We had a fundraiser for their project. You know how much we raised, Juma Prayer? $1.6 million. Juma Prayer. I was in December in Maryland, an organization called Dar Salam Al School. We raised that night $1 million for the project. There was a brother, a Muslim, sitting in the audience, so inspired, he wrote a check for $1 million. We raised $2 million that night. Right? So we spend a lot of money on that shit, we should. On schools, we should. But we also have to spend some money, allocate some resources on exactly that. Planning, think tanks, and getting together and to be proactive. I would argue, in my scenario today, I said the three things that why Muslims are grown. Number one, birth. Number two, immigration. Number three, da'wah. Now, what I'm saying is that in most of the communities, very little, if any, is spent on da'wah. So we are getting people to come to Islam not because of us, but despite us. Meaning that if we really had an active program to bring people to Islam, our message would be packed with new converts. The people in Ireland and UK and Switzerland and around the world, they just don't know what Islam really says. They believe the narratives that's given to them, so we have to fight against those narratives. So it's work, it's money, it's resources. Yes?
I think that part of understanding the narrative is if Muslims start to see themselves as part of their own societies. Like, for example,
brother, let me tell you something, man. Come here, man. Come here. Come here. Come here. I love you, man. Come here, man. If these, I'm letting you know, listen, if these people weren't looking, I would kiss you. But I'm not going to do it. This is the key. This is what Sheikh said is the key. We have to stop looking like this is our society. This is not their society, this is your society. You live here. I take ownership of America. I'm an American. I love my country. I'm not ashamed to say that. Everywhere you go as a Muslim, whatever country you live in, you should make that country better. If you're a Muslim in China, or Muslim in Japan, or Muslim wherever you are, your job is to make that country better. Let me tell you something that a Jewish rabbi once said this to his congregation. He asked them, he said, if all the Jews in America decided one day to get up and leave America, he said, would America be better off? Would America be the same? Or would America be worse off? I asked the same question. All the Muslims leave Ireland. We say we going wherever. Will Ireland be better off, the same or worse? How do you answer that question? The answer should be, wherever we leave, it's going to be worse. Because of the great contributions that we have made to the society, the question is, are we making contributions to the society? Many of us are doing well in the society. We're making money in the society. We're getting educated in the society. But what do we put back into the society? So I agree with you, brother. That's part of the issue. We have to stop looking like this is their country. I'm very happy. I was in Northern Virginia, and some brothers bought 77 acres of land. You know what they use that land for? Muslim cemetery. That's serious. You're saying, this is my country, this is where I'm going to die. You have to look at not just the Muslim private schools. Do you know that 5% of Muslim children go to full-time Muslim schools? 95% of our children go to either public school or non-Muslim private schools. How do I spend all my time raising money for the 5% and the 95%? Nothing. For the public schools, what have we done for them? So I'm saying, you got to start looking at, okay, this is my country. What can I do for my country? And you know, don't be bullied by a handful of extremist Muslims. Make you look bad because you're trying to help your country. This is your country. You should be proud of the country. Proud. You see something about Nelson Mandela. I was speaking to Shay about Nelson Mandela and the contributions that the Muslims have made in South Africa is profound. Less than 2% of the population in South Africa are Muslim, but that Muslims have many prominent positions. Why? Because they never hated their country. You must make a distinction between administration and country. Never hate your country. Dislike administration. We don't like apartheid. Fight against apartheid. Don't fight against your country. And never, ever, ever allow Muslims to come and say, we're going to do something to this country, we're going to blow this up, blow that. I know I have to tell you this, but that's not in our thinking at all. It is contributions. How can we make this country better? Is what I'm saying making sense? Do I sound like an Uncle Tom? You know what Uncle Tom is? Shake Tom and Uncle Tom. Very good. Anybody know the Uncle Thomas? Huh? Like a trainer, yeah, like a trainer. So, you know, this is a beautiful place, you know, so I'm telling you something. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, if you study the history of Islam, for 13 years in Mecca, the Muslims never even fought back. It wasn't until they got to Medina that Allah gave them permission even to fight back. They keep the perspective. These are not your enemies. You see, hey, let me tell you one more thing, right? See, Muslims have this concept that those Kafirs, they don't understand Islam. That doesn't make you a Kafir. This is why the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said that there was a prophet that was beaten by the people so much that his face began to bleed, and he said, Allahumma ighfir li qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamun. Oh Allah, forgive my people because they don't know. A Kafir is one who does know. And they fight against you. And knowing the truth, I don't have a lot of time to go into that, but just take that. So a lot of people, they don't know. Your neighbors don't know about Islam. Teach them. Be good examples. That's it. One more and then we go.